Is private equity tough? That is a great question, and I am here to answer that question for you. No cap. But before that, I want to announce something important. I need you to hit the subscribe button because that would be lit. Anyway, private equity firms literally have aura, a lot of it. But there is one thing you must understand. They should not be confused with other cringe words like hedge funds or investment banks, because those words have negative aura. But first things first, what do these private equity firms actually do? Let me spill the tea. They just pool billions of dollars and buy off companies that are falling off. After that, they sell it and make a huge bag. Yes, it's that simple. It's basically house flipping, but for companies, so company flipping. Nice. But how does that work? Let me make it make sense. Let's say a private equity firm called BlackRock is eyeing a company called Zorblox, a company that makes clothes, which is looking like it's going to be falling off. They're not terrible, but they're not slapping yet. BlackRock then collects money from other bros, like hedge funds, investment banks, and pension funds. So when BlackRock sees a company like Zorblox that is low-key falling off, they go ahead and buy it for something very cheap, without using much of their own money. It's simple. Private equity barely uses their own money to buy companies. They just rizz up other banks and pension funds to lend them money to buy other companies. But why would anyone lend money to buy a company that is just mid? Well, once BlackRock buys Zorblox, they immediately get to work. They cut costs, optimize operations, and even just slime people in the company. I mean, fire people in the company. Maybe also help Zorblox create better drip, better marketing, and better everything. 2 years go by, and Zorblox is now slapping way harder, and the company is printing money. They make sure everything in the company is actually cooking instead of flopping. They have one job, and that is to maximize profits. Now, after 6 to 7 years of owning the company, making it slap harder than it did before, they flip it. They just sell it to another company for sometimes 10 times what they initially bought it for. That's completely out of pocket. So if they paid $500 million upfront and borrowed $350 million of it, Zorblox would have already made that money back through its profits. On top of that, when they sell the company for $2 billion, all of that goes straight to BlackRock's pocket. But sometimes Zorblox might not cook even after the help from BlackRock. It might produce drip that is hella whack and low-key sucks. Then the company is in big trouble. BlackRock would just dip out, and Zorblox, along with its workers, take a big fat L. So there are different types of PE moves depending on what kind of firm you're dealing with. Some firms are like, we genuinely want to help this company cook and make it better. Those are the respectful ones. Other firms are like, we're going to extract as much cash as possible and sell before things get messy. That's why private equity can high-key sound controversial as hell. Sometimes PE firms genuinely make companies better and create value, but sometimes they literally just make things worse and dip out. Then there's another thing. Private equity firms charge what's called management fees. Every year they're managing your fund, they take like 2% of all the money in that fund. So if the fund has $10 billion, they're taking $200 million a year just for existing. That's wild. They also take what's called carried interest, which is basically like 20% of all the profits they make. So they're eating well no matter what happens. It's low-key genius from a financial perspective. It's literally how billionaires get so cracked. You buy companies that are mid, you make it not mid, then you sell them for way more. Rinse and repeat type stuff. It's a proven formula that prints. But it's not always good for the regular people working at these companies. So, is private equity tough, chat? Yeah, it's tough as hell. It's actually one of the toughest financial institutions that exist. The returns are absolutely unhinged. But also, it's controversial as hell. It's not always righteous. So, as I said before in the announcement, all of this knowledge does require to subscribe. So please hit the subscribe button on the screen. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers quick.